Who are the refugees, and what do they look like? Well, many students recognize the guest speaker as the guy who was always running around the track at Lakewood High School. Some recognized his familiar smile and had met him through his work with Lakewood's H.I.R.O.S and Catholic Charities. His name is Makarakabundo Diamirchi Salakumbo, a record-holding track and soccer star at Lakewood High and graduate of Denison University. D is also a refugee. He grew up in a small village in the Congo near Rwanda. His father and his family were threatened by militant rebels, and twice D believed that his father had been killed. The family fled to Uganda, where they lived in abject poverty and fear, until they were given the chance to come to America, to Lakewood. Our Harding students were awestruck by D's story and inspired by his resolve to not only help other refugees in Cleveland, but travel back to his village in the Congo several times at great cost and personal risk to his safety to help young athletes and Congolese students. D is a refugee whose story our students will never forget.
I learned something new from everything we have done, but the most special experience by far was listening to refugee D. Macrobando talk about what he has been through to escape his own country and get safely to America with his family, and what he is doing to help people back home. While D was giving us the details of his story, sometimes I would have to stop and remind myself that this wasn't one of my dystopian books. It wasn't a story he had made up. This really happened to him. If his life were a book, though, D would be the hero, the person I would want to have the virtues of, the person I would look up to and try to be like.
A refugee can be anyone. They can look like anyone, they can come from anywhere, and they each have a different story. Refugees have brought a lot of diversity to Cleveland and Lakewood. During our study of refugees, a visitor came in named D. D told his refugee story. We learned about his family, his country, and how he escaped, but we also learned that all refugees aren't that lucky. I think D is a hero because he inspires so many people. Just hearing his story makes you want to get up and help the world. After he told his story, I felt so inspired. Refugees can have a powerful effect on anyone and all of us.